Is the fatherlessness crisis destroying Gen Z? Now we have our boy Jen with us, the YouTuber with whom we started all this. It's a fresh video, as you can see, 3 weeks. Yes, 3 weeks is a fresh video for this YouTube channel. Now, why do I want to talk about this topic? Because I think it's very important. I am not going to talk yet a lot. I'm going to try to react and only put out the key points because his kind and for his types of videos they give you some, how do I say it correct? They give you some interesting things to think about, and they don't necessarily always require comments. So now we can start the reaction.
There doesn't.
My mom was she's like the head honcho of the house.
And crime is caused by unwantedness, and abortion reduces unwantedness.
I lived my life for things that my dad wanted me to do.
There really wasn't much I did with my father. He was a workaholic.
My father was an alcoholic.
Hey, it's the lawyer from the same.
Again.
Hey, Dad. How are you?
I only now understood that his real name is actually Jen. I thought that was just a nickname. Like zynoVII7 is not my real name. So I thought he just made it up cool, an abbreviation. Okay, I promise to talk less.
Today I'm out here and the question I'll be asking is, what is your relationship like with your father?
When I was born, he was still in World War II. Didn't come into my life till I was 3 or 4 years old. Worked 2 jobs. Didn't have much tolerance for kids.
A little bit complicated. If you went to him for advice, he'd be like, yeah, you figure it out.
Are you a father yourself?
I have numerous children, roughly somewhere in between 30 and 40.
To be fair, you look an amazing man as for a person your age. So yeah, keep it up with the fitness.
45, because in my 20s I was a sperm donor.
I'm curious, have you met any of them?
Okay, that time I don't know actually how the time genuinely. I promise to talk less. I'm just gonna talk less. Enjoy Jen.
I have not.
I'm more of a mama's boy for sure. She carries a lot of the emotional weight in my life.
I talk to my dad almost twice a week, but I love my dad. He loves me.
Growing up, it was always something I lived my life for things that my dad wanted me to do.
How has that evolved though?
A few years, we weren't really communicating or talking. And so nowadays, he stops and listens to me.
I'm Jim Sexton. I'm a divorce lawyer in New York City. I've been practicing divorce law for about 22 years.
If you don't mind me asking, what was your relationship with, your father?
My father was an alcoholic. Hardly spoke to me, but never laid hands on me, never abused me. This is a man who had all the men in his wedding party die in Vietnam, lost most of his friends in Vietnam, and then he got sober when my mom died. I finally said to him, listen, I'm done with you. She's dead. We don't have anything left to talk about, you and I. Never talked about this before in an interview.
When 1 in 4 American homes are fatherless, it's clear that it's a growing problem. And so Gen Z, especially, are turning to others.
Note, because again, it's my stream, I have to point out some comments. It's a growing problem unless you had the percentage less before. So I'm actually curious if he's going to talk about it in the past. That's why I'm not going to make direct comments about it right now. But I assume that before the stats were lower than 1 in 4
for guidance, and some are providing that, but some have capitalized.
For all my young boys out there, you guys want to know why I'm successful? I never took a girl seriously, ever.
So I wanted to
I should do a fresh and fit reaction. Whoever wants a fresh and fit reaction, please drop a reaction wherever you're watching, either on the stream, either on the on YouTube, in the replay of this stream, because man, I have so much to talk about these guys. And let's just say like this, I would love to deeply talk with them about some of the topics, for them to explain me their opinions. Let's be polite.
explore the impact of the fatherlessness crisis, not only for the next generation, but for past generations as well. But is this crisis just a symptom of a larger problem? And more importantly, how can I overcome my own struggles with my own father? I guess we gon' see.
Could you just give like a quick rundown of who you are and what you do?
I run an online space called the Tin Men, platform for discussing various political and social issues that impact men and boys.
Everybody needs to go and follow the Tin Men on Instagram.
Okay, I know this guy because I have a lot of shorts of him. How did he just say? Mm,
social issues that impact men and boys.
Everybody needs to go and follow the Tin Men on Instagram. I absolutely love it.
You said that your mission is
Wait, let me Google the Tint Man so I don't forget about him. Maybe we can drop a reaction on him because, let's be fair, it should be interesting. The guy's talking about male mental health, and I think I'm at least a bit of an expert in it, so to say. Wait, I can't find him, to be fair. Let me check again the nickname.
Everybody needs to go and follow the Tin Men on Instagram. I absolutely love it.
you said that
The Tin Man, probably. Not the Tin. Okay, I think I found him, yeah. Let's go further.
your mission is to essentially explore the forgotten gaps of the gender debate. Would you say that this fatherlessness crisis is a forgotten gap in the gender debate here today?
There's an interesting theory called zynoVII7 theory. In the 1990s in America, New York was having a massive violent crime surge, and a lot of criminologists were like terrified. And then it went up and up and up and up and up, and then it came drastically down again.
I actually know why it came down. Before he actually comes to this conclusion, one of the actual reasons why I know it came down was because of Giuliani. When he became mayor of New York, he basically what he did, he increased policemen. This is really what he did. He said, "I'm done with it, guys. I'm just gonna punish you. If we're going to get more strict on it, you like it or not, we need to make you need to make less crimes. Come on. So I'm just gonna send more people." But let's hear. Maybe he has a better theory.
Against all expectations, and everyone's falling over themselves trying to explain why. Two economists, Levitt and Donahue, came along and proposed this very controversial theory. The answer is probably women winning reproductive rights 15, 20 years before. So instead of forcing a woman to have a child that she can't afford or doesn't want, that child has an increased likelihood of becoming a criminal later in life. And crime is caused by unwantedness, and abortion reduces unwantedness. Today, is violent crime also being caused by a lack of fatherlessness?
Again, what their theory is good, but you really need to, I think there should be a bigger theory on this, because there are probably the results of the investigation, right? So I don't know, the crimes were committed by those who not just didn't have a father, but were, I don't know, a result of like an accident, so to say. So were an unplanned child, etc. I am sure. But one of the things with these economists is that you can really take like some events, because it's the way how he just explained, not like my personally. You can take some of the events and really fit them into this situation. Again, I am not sure that, and again, why then New York only? Maybe I misheard. Maybe it was, but I don't think he talked about abortion getting more, so to say, not popular. How do I say it correctly? Uh, More common between people only in the area of New York, but where the crimes did lower were in New York because Giuliani was mayor. Again, I promise to talk less.
Of committed fathers.
So if feeling unwanted is one cause for why people commit crime, having a present father can only help, especially when most crimes are committed by men. So I wanted to ask the streets on what value a father has. What do you think a father brings to the table that a mother doesn't?
How to fix your car or something, or gardening outside. So we do a lot of the manual tasks together.
I don't know. My mom was kind of just like the head honcho of the house, and like he's there for like support.
My dad was the breadwinner. He's very stable, logical.
Well, it's sort of like, what does a man bring to a relationship? What does a woman bring to the relationship? When you find someone to marry, look at the relationship she has with her father, because that's her role model, and that's the relationship she's going to have with you.
So if the
That's actually very true, and that is another study that I've seen, that women do pick men from. Okay, can I have reaction? Go in my playlists. Oh, okay. There's just some guy who came into the stream and wants me to react to some of his videos. Maybe we will, man. Maybe we will. Just be patient, but I appreciate the comments. Now, what I wanted to say was about, yeah, about the father being a role model, which is sort of true because inside, even if you have like a conflicted relationship with your father, most of the time he's still the closest you have. So it's not even, I think, kind of a role model that you look at what is a good man. Often with women it works as how a man is in life, what he actually how should it look like. Now obviously it's not the case for everyone, but we don't discuss exceptions here. We discuss what's the average result. And the average result is that a lot of the women actually tend to who look for a man who does share some similarities with their father. Watch something shorter, dude. No, it's not gonna be this whole video because we're already on 4 minutes, and it's good. We're coming to the next video as well.
Person you choose is not just your spouse, but possibly a future mother or father. Fatherlessness doesn't just impact crime, but how people show up in relationships. And so who better to ask than a divorce lawyer about this?
You could be an excellent parent and just not be good at being a spouse. You might be mismatched with your partner. I mean, a lot of people choose their romantic partners between the ages of 18 and 30. Or you may be the type that you grow apart and you become more, dissimilar. I think the more normal reason why fathers are minimized, unintentional second order effects of the boom in divorce, the boom in how much people work, and the impact that has on their available time for their families. Like, it's a lot of things all at once.
And so whether due to divorce...
Again, you can calculate a lot of them. Basically, just look what changed in life in general and compared to 25 years, then attach it to a family representative or to a relationship, so to say, and you can compare.
Or absence, it's clear husbands and fathers have distinct roles and impact. Mothers with absent or distant husbands are not only at a higher risk of developing antenatal depression, but fatherless children are also at risk. Girls without fathers are 8 times more likely to have teenage pregnancies, while fatherless boys often exhibit aggression, delinquency, and an increased likelihood of committing a crime. And so
one of these reasons I genuinely believe is discipline. Now, I don't know how it works with a lot of the, so to say, families and couples, but a father, a lot of the times, he you can't even say he expresses fear. You're afraid of him or somehow, but he is the one that controls the discipline. Really, well, it's been like this in most of the people with whom I talked. The father is responsible for the discipline, and I don't know, maybe it's somewhere inside, maybe it's something evolutionary genetical. I didn't study this case personally, but I think that this is really one of the factors that a father does bring more than a mother. I think that you really are not afraid of the father, but again, he doesn't even control you, but he puts you on your spot. And that's why girls don't fool around that much compared to those who Jen just showed in his stats. That's why guys are kind of more chill and also think about their actions, because both of these actions, what he just described, unexpected teenage pregnancy and aggression from guys, it comes from not from like fooling around, from not being put on their spot, for having limited possibilities, and not, I don't know, not even, and not, yeah, just sitting down and thinking about their actions. There's a reason why it's called unexpected.
Oftentimes having a father or not can either set you ahead or set you behind. So I was curious to ask the divorce lawyer on what impact his alcoholic father had on his life.
The goal, I think, of fatherhood is to move things a little further. Maybe 6-7 months after she passed away, and he called me, I just want to let you know I've quit drinking and I'm going to AA. And I hung up the phone and I thought, you know what, you should give this guy a win on this. Like, he made progress.
And so we'll come back to the rest of his story, but man, that was inspirational for me to hear. Because as he said, if the purpose of fatherhood is to make progress, it made me think, what role can I play in improving my father and I's relationship? Like,
wait, before you go, I think I have balloons in my... Why do I have balloons on my screen? Wait, I need to disappear for a moment. I don't want to have balloons on my screen. Yeah, I think it's better.
what steps can I take now to move towards a better future, especially when I'm a dad myself? I was beginning to form an idea, but with a lot of things in my mind, from my daddy issues to now since I'm full time on growing this channel and our online presence, I was starting to get worried. To focus on exploring what's exactly causing this crisis.
I think people need to stop having children. They want to have kids as an accessory. It's expensive, and there is...
Let me just say it short and simple, and I don't care if some of you may disagree with me, but whoever pushes an idea that you shouldn't have kids should be criminalized. Hear me out. I am not saying that everyone should have kids. There are obviously people who sometimes you look at it and you think, well, thank God they don't have. But by promoting child-free movements, by promoting ideas that people shouldn't have kids, you are promoting killing the next generation. Because what you're saying is we don't need people. We have to get rid of people. And you know who gets rid of people as well? Murderers. Murderers. I wanted to make a nice expression, but I failed. Murderers. That's it. No more comments. Maybe later, but not now.
There's a lot of pressure on the man to bring money to the table, and that could be another...
Oh, pressure. Oh my God. People don't have to live in pressure. Oh, pressure.
Other thing that scares a lot of men.
Lack of strong marriages. The family unit isn't as tight anymore.
Has somewhat to do with women finding their ground and comfortable with being independent, which I think is a great thing.
And so when asking across generations, there's many reasons. But again, when 1 in 4 American homes are without fathers and Gen Z are turning to digital father figures, are they at least getting the guidance that they need?
Would you say that the problems that Gen Z are currently experiencing are explained by the fatherlessness crisis?
I actually don't know why we're only tackling Gen Z, because Gen Alpha is growing already fast, and boy oh boy, their problems are going to be, well, I don't know. I think they're already a more interesting case to study. We already passed the gap where Gen Z was a big serious thing. Let's now go to Gen Alpha.
I do feel like a lack of positive male role models, especially in the media, is an emerging and increasing problem. And we've gone from Mr. Rogers, and now we have like Homer Simpson, Peter Griffin, basically clowns, poor reflection of masculinity, and fathers especially. I know in the UK the Advertising Standards Authority had to actually step in to ban adverts that routinely framed dads as incompetent.
So when this fatherlessness crisis seems like a symptom of a larger problem that's getting worse and worse, why aren't more people talking about it?
Why do you think this topic of male issues have become so polarized? And what impact has that had on being able to hold discourse?
The left have failed them even more so than the right. The right has in some way at least tried to take hold of the conversation, largely through people like Andrew Tate, Fresh and Fit, and who I do not like. They are
To be fair, you can't compare Fresh and Fit and Andrew Tate. Those are really two huge figures, because Fresh and Fit are basically two men as well. They're two huge figures who really differentiate in their points and ideas, especially now. maybe in 2020, 2021, you could somehow compare them. But I think now it's a bit of a wrong comparison. Yeah.
A wider problem, which is how the left have sort of forgotten boys and men. And although there certainly are advantages to being a man, it's a bit more nuanced than that. Men and boys are increasingly conservative anyway, and women and girls are becoming increasingly liberal.
That's exactly right. With 44% of Gen Z women identifying as liberal compared to 25% of Gen Z men, this marks the largest gender gap since polling began in 1998. And the right is capitalizing on that trend. Republican Party candidate Vivek Ramaswamy has supported the importance of the nuclear family in the two-parent household. And he has criticized American culture and government for pushing
Waterworks, if you're still on this stream, can you send me like one of the videos that you want me to watch, because I couldn't find your channel. Thanks.
Anti-family incentives, and many right-wing influencers and organizations are following suit. But if we're going to look at it both sides, is this an attempt by the right to pander male voters, similar to how the left has targeted women according to George? Whatever be the case, clear that the issue is more complex with numerous factors rather than the simplistic perspectives of just blaming women. So the most important question is, what is the solution?
As a divorce lawyer, how do we fix this fatherlessness crisis?
From a legal level, people learn through fear and greed. They do the right thing because they're afraid of getting in trouble. So we have to create consequences for the serious problem of alienating children from a father or mother. I'm tired of men being bashed. We put men on the moon, for God's sake. Men.
I can imagine the life of such a divorce lawyer. Actually, wait, I need to Google this stat, but I think it's mostly women who encourage the divorces. Wait, who encourages more divorces? To think about why men are more likely to think. Oh, that's interesting. Promoting. Wait, Oh, encourage. I should have written initiate. Initiates. 70% of wait, let me just share this screen with you, and then I'll wait. Here it is. We got 70% of the women initiating divorces. So I can imagine like this divorce lawyer, he's sitting in his office, and literally if you take 10 cases, 7 of them are women coming to him and saying, yeah, I need a divorce. Bad man, bad experience, and don't want to take it anymore. And him as a man listening to all of this, he gets annoyed. He doesn't like this. He wants to be free, so to say. Okay, yeah, I need to finish the reaction on this video if I want to start another one today.
Less often the primary physical parent who's a stay-at-home parent. Therefore, they couldn't, or they're not as good at it. I don't think that's even vaguely true. All the research shows that children have better outcomes when they have substantial, meaningful access to mothers and fathers.
Imagine if ChatGPT and Canva had a baby that majored in advertising. That's at creative AI.
Because a man provides his value, a woman provides his value, and together they create the most beautiful thing on earth, is people. They raise them together. They both teach this human being a lesson or two or three, and whoever tries to underestimate both men and women are, in my eyes, simply wrong, and I would really love to debate them in this topic.
Curious, what is something that you did as a father that your father didn't to your kids?
We did everything with our kids, because there really wasn't much I did with my father. And in fairness to him, he was a workaholic.
How did fatherhood change you as a man?
Took the focus off of me, realized that my kids were essentially everything.
Fatherhood, it holds a mirror up to you. If you saw somebody drop their wallet and no one...
Funniest thing is that this divorce lawyer, I think, is also divorced. Why did I say it's funny?
would ever see it. A lot of people go, yeah, just stick it in my pocket then. And if you say to them, what would you tell your kid to do? That's the real test of their morality. We give up on ourselves a lot faster than we give up on our kids.
So with that in mind, I was curious about the outcome between the divorce lawyer and his father and how I could apply it to my own struggles with my father.
About a year or two later, he was really a different person. He would send me text messages like, I'm so proud of you. And I remember I was like, yeah, f you. You want to have a catch now? You know, come on, man. Like, I learned how to not need that. And then I realized, like, yeah, that's my stuff. And that's not healthy to carry around. So I worked through it. We've developed in the last like 4 or 5 years now, since that, like, we have a very lovely relationship. I see him differently now.
The problem when a person is changing is not that you don't believe they're changing, is that you're afraid that they might get back to the past. And that is why a lot of people have these problems of trusting someone with whom, so to say, it didn't go as well. But as the philosopher, as the psychologist, as the owner of this YouTube channel, I will tell you, people, give people a second chance. Everyone deserves a second chance. Just be careful. That's probably, like, chances should be given, I believe, obvious, but don't forget the past. I think I ran recently in a nice quote about this, but I can't really really recreate it in my head. So if I remember it, I'm going to stop the video and say it.
Growing up, my dad was by no means an alcoholic or abusive. In fact, quite the opposite. He was always there for me and really gave me a great childhood. But like I'm sure some of you watching can relate, as I've gotten older, I've realized that I've never had that type of relationship that I've desperately wanted as a kid from a father. I call it lack of trust or emotional connection, but at a certain period, it's gotten to a point where I've developed resentment, where even a simple phone call from him was stressful. And in many ways, it's come a long way, but it's been 7 months since I've even visited or talked to him on the phone.
I hope now that when my own sons, if they become fathers someday, that they will move the ball a little further. Maybe they won't be workaholics like I was. It's never too late to, I think, become a better father or a better son. And I think there's real value in it.
Because if the goal of fatherhood is to continue moving things along, then what the hell was I doing as a son to make that happen?
I actually didn't remember that quote, but I got another one from, I think it was Belmondo, and I don't remember the movie. I have to check it out later. So the quote was, "What is the difference between a fool and a prisoner?" I think a fool, not an idiot. I think it was a fool. And the answer was, well, a prisoner can change. Everyone can screw up, but it's never late to change.
Because things will always get busier and busier. But if we're too busy to even talk to the person who's raised us since I've had in my diapers, what kind of father am I going to be when I have kids?
Hi again.
Hey Dad, how are you?
How are you? Okay, happy holidays. Where are you?
I'm in Brazil right now. How's everything?
Okay, how are you enjoying there?
Good.
Good. I've been following your activities. And how are you guys getting along there?
Good. Everything's been good. Yeah.
Okay, and what's going on now?
No, just wanted to call. I haven't talked to you in a while, so.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm just, but you going to aren't you going to El Salvador?
Yeah, I think maybe next month.
With Russian
We'll
women.
see.
Okay, it's not kind of up in the air. You can go anytime you want.
I mean, I guess now, yeah, I don't have a job. I'm just doing this full time, but yeah.
How do you like that freedom?
I mean, it's great, but I mean, obviously it's also more pressure, you know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody I talk to, they think you're just great too. You have the winning formula. I mean, if you reflect on what you have achieved, I mean, my God, how many of you at your age have succeeded what you have done? I just want you to know that I'm proud of you because you're very honest with yourself.
Yeah. etc. I will watch your link.
If you want more unbiased journalism,
okay, yeah, I think Jen added his video. And before I go watch your link, I will conclude the reaction, because this is what we do here after every single one of them. Guys, children are literally the greatest thing that could happen in anyone's life. And just try, be the best version of yourself you can. Wake up every morning by trying to become such. Now, this was me, zynoVII7. We have just finished reacting to a video from Jen. If you're watching this on YouTube on a replay mode, then expect the newest reactions to get uploaded soon. And for those of you watching this live, we're going to go to some other reactions. For you on YouTube, I'll see you soon.